So hello guys and welcome to round number 2. This time gonna be a TVP and it's gonna be one of our community sponsors actually, SUPERMALLS, facing off against Raigekisai. Raigekisai, that's a pretty fancy name, and all I know from Raigeki is that it was one of those cards back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to be like, I'm gonna kill everything on your field and you are done. But yeah, Raigekisai looking to be a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. And we are gonna get our map bans already. Here they are, our map pool coming our way for this upcoming TVP. And this time, it's gonna be Simulacrum, Eternal Empire, and Everdream in our 3-map affair. So very standard maps here and now, looking to be a pretty fruitful endeavor between our two players. And looking right here right now at a little bit of their stats, it's gonna be platinum versus gold right here, and it seems like SUPERMALLS is gonna have a little bit of that advantage in terms of a skill level. But anyway, it is gonna be time to get things started into this one. Got a little bit of tidbits here and there as well from our players. I'm glad to see them being very cooperative as well as enjoying their time here. And beyond that, guys, though, we thank you guys for tuning on, and we thank you guys for supporting as well as joining into the action. Make sure though that you are always updated with the admin updates if you are part of the tournament, as we can't wait for everyone, and we are going to be looking to make sure that it is going to be time to get into the matchup. SUPERMALLS versus Raigekisai. SUPERMALLS, what does that mean? What could we even say? I can only think of one thing. Guys, when I hear the word SUPERMALLS, and that has to be, you know that chain, a big chain over there with a lot of them. We got the S and the M. You got your SM, but it's probably gonna be something to talk about into the future. But anyway, guys, it's gonna be time to get into our action, into our lobby. Simulacrum gonna be a pretty interesting one. As big as those SM malls are, Simulacrum gonna have a big middle line to play on. Seems like though our match is gonna get started, and in TVP it's gonna be very interesting to see how this one's gonna go. No Zerg as of yet on our stream, and thinking about how the TVP goes, it really is just gonna be brain versus brawn, and really ability usage with compositions that are looking to destroy as much as possible. Simulacrum gonna be a good map for this, but there is potentially that cheese factor here from Raigekisai using the nooks and crannies of the sides of the map to do so. In the meantime, we'll see what SUPERMALLS is going to be up to on that Terran. And it's going to be really fun to have these two players actually going to be meeting each other in pitch combat. Big shout outs yet again though to our sponsors, to DLS Mizzle as well as I guess me. Shout outs of course to our player right now, SUPERMALLS, who did pitch in a little bit of that prize pool. And of course, our major sponsor, AKG Games. AKG Games Philippines, they got Facebook and they got an Instagram, looking to really support different sides of scenes of Blizzard games, as well as the community endeavors just like this one. AKG Games Philippines, you guys gotta check that out on the FB and the IG. But hey, it's time to get into round number 2. It's time to get things started, and let's get into Simulacrum. Into the game we go. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 1 out of 3, and we are here reporting live on Simulacrum LA. It's the great SCV rush right here right now for one of our players, and that guy on the top left playing the red Terran is gonna be SUPERMALLS. SM SUPERMALLS. He probably got it all for us, that's for sure. And this is gonna be the red Terran coming on back, supporting the tournament, sure, but also looking out for little bits of a better result here and now. So quick little FYI about SUPERMALLS, he does have that SM branding there because he does work for the company. Apparently he is part of that marketing brand, and hey, the only thing he needs right now is to have the logo of SM really just spinning around here. I think that's the best way to go about things, as Proxy Pylon gonna get spotted out immediately, so SUPERMALLS can be on that. Just bring in like 4 SCVs to clear that one out and be good to go. Another thing about SUPERMALLS, he actually did make it apparently to the quarterfinals last quarantine number 1. So he can go the long haul, and we'll see how far he can go into this tournament. He has already set up the barracks with that standard Reaper, and as we said before, he has a little bit of that advantage in terms of skill rating, being a platinum player compared to his opponents. Speaking of his opponents, though, they haven't been able to talk about him as of yet. Here and now, on the bottom right of Simulacrum, it's gonna be that purple Protoss that is Raigekisai. Team Gosu, apparently. You gotta go be as Gosu as you can right here, right now. And a quick little FYI item on about Raigekisai. So he is Gold League in Protoss, but apparently he plays Terran Bar. Unfortunately though, he didn't really place well on Terran. He said he was bronze in Terran. He's like, nah, I'm gonna play Protoss. Apparently the game tells me I'm better at this is what I want to do, and I guess this works for me. He found the glove that fit him. He tried something out else. It wasn't the proper size, and sometimes you just gonna need to go a little bit for that exchange to those department stores. But the department store is firing on back, and SUPERMALLS is gonna be going for this Reaper. He's hitting the Nexus for some weird reason instead of going into the middle line, but now he's gonna get the scouting information that he needs. For Raigekisai though, since his initial proxy pylon didn't really lead to anything, yeah, okay, the probe's gonna get pulled in, the Reaper gonna get micro to try and get in the way. Pistol shots are bound. This should be another kill onto a probe. And there's some really good work here for SUPERMALLS right now, really finding some deals to remember in these holidays. And in the meantime, Raigekisai started things off with a Zealot, but you don't really want to do that against a Terran. He tried to go for the Chrono Boost with the Stalker, it just didn't happen. And usually in situations like this, you try to go for the block on, you see those areas with caution signs, that's where Reapers can jump in the first place. But anyway though, a really strong start from SUPERMALLS. He got 2 probes there with his Scouting Reaper. He playing defensively right now with a bunker onto that natural, but orbital commands are set on up. And all that energy gonna be very, very useful to get some mules to drop on down. 1-1-1 set up as well. And interesting enough, it's gonna be a pretty early tech lab into this one. And I'm very interested to see how this one is gonna go for SUPERMALLS. With an early tech lab, he can really go for the Banshee, and yes, we are back into some old school meta. When you see that tech lab ready for the starport, that it has to be Banshee going for that cloak, looking to get the damage done, surgical strikes onto the ground. And a pretty good timing here from SUPERMALLS actually. Seems like he really does know when to go for the rush, when to go for the fight, and when to time things out. Arthos' bottom though, powering all these gateways. One good surgical strike from that Banshee coming his way might get a shutdown that SUPERMALLS need. But Raigekisai, I love this. He's playing defensively, he's playing with the fact that he knows he's a little behind, and he will play it safe. He is going to go for the Observer first and foremost, just give him scouting information, but more importantly, that detection, able to see that Banshee coming his way. But in this instance, right here, right now, shoutouts to everyone tuning on in on the Twitch stream. We're only live on Twitch, guys. If you see that check mark up top, it tells you why. And at the same time, we are on a delay, so you can use those commands in the description of the stream to help you guys out to look for a few things here and there. We publicize our replay packs. We publicize a lot of information about the tournament, so we make sure that we are as clear and transparent to you all in the audience. So let's look at the chat real quick. Shoutouts to Laguna SC2 Gaming. Shoutouts to those guys there, and shoutouts to everyone else, all the players who have been participating right now. As SUPERMALLS mops up the floor against the debris, making sure he has a little more space to work with. In the meantime though, does he have Cloak available already? Yes, he does. And this is going to be SUPERMALLS going for an adventure. These 2 Banshees will look to get in position, scan right now, to make sure he knows what's coming. But what does Raigekisai know? Where is that Observer? The Observer has been able to scout out the tech lab onto that starport. Does he know that the Banshee is coming? Does he know that this is going to be a potential reckoning onto his main base? He's gonna go for that Oracle and the Revelation. Well, time might be a good one, but does he have the energy for it? That's gonna be the real question here. Seems like he does start with it, if I am correct about that one. Gonna be flying that one over to the left-hand side. But SUPERMALLS already engaging that cloak. Slowly but surely infiltrating the competition to see what they're up to. And 2 probes gonna go down, make that 3, make that 4, and again, it is Cloak apparently making you invincible. Usually people say invincibility is invincibility, but right now it's invisibility that is invincibility. But at the same time, it's a pretty good drop here and now from Raigekisai. Went for the warp cycle, and it is going to be Stalkers in position as well. Here for SUPERMALLS, he can really shut things down by taking care of this pylon out in the open. Raigekisai though, still gonna have that warp cycle, but 22 probes already going down. Advantage heavily in favor here of SUPERMALLS. He got a really good pull right here, right now. We better though if he gets some micro on, realize the situation, and there you go. The cannon fire, the rockets connecting onto the pylon. Can Raigekisai get a cycle on? It's not gonna happen, and the Artosis pylon will shut down all these gateways. No more anti-air capabilities here and now for our Protoss player, except photon cannons. The observers looking around to see the demise of the main base right here, right now. SUPERMALLS just having a good time into this one. He is going to try to go for the defense though. He is also getting supply blocks, a few mistakes here and there for SUPERMALLS, but he has already done the damage that needed to be doing. 41 workers to 13 is a huge, astronomical, probably insurmountable lead in the first place. And the only thing he's doing wrong right now, besides getting supply block and funneling these units one at a time, is the fact that these supply depots are down, so that could allow the Stalkers to get in position in the first place. Anyway, seems like SUPERMALLS a little too busy. Make sure his defense is gonna hold. Raigekisai in the meantime buying some time for himself. And we'll go for some gateways all the way onto that natural. Still though doesn't have the detection that he needs, the anti-air that he needs as well in position onto that natural. The observers are looking somewhere else, and here comes the Banshees right now. Go for the Immortal first is a very questionable tactic. Instead gonna go for those probes. Gateways not coming on up, but it is basically game set match here. Raigekisai running out of probes into this one. He is gonna go for a potential warp cycle, but 2 Stalkers versus 2 Banshees, that doesn't look pretty good against those ground anti-air units. And in this instance, Pylon now getting damage there from the Rocketeers. Here comes the Stalkers though in position. What is SUPERMALLS busy with? Onto the main base, absolutely nothing. More starports right here, right now. And it's time to go for the disengage with the cloak. Getting positioned to go for the hits. Onto the Nexus, interesting enough. But this is another situation though where the economy lead is just way too much, and SUPERMALLS does really show that he does have the monopoly in this market. He is gonna be looking great in any kind of recession, and even though he's not really microwave properly, he doesn't care. He has lots of branches there, and then he's going for more starports, and that is just all about the SM way. It really is a SUPERMALLS time right here, right now from SUPERMALLS. He's gonna try to get on away though. SSR really giving chase into this instance. On the third base here for SUPERMALLS, you can never go wrong with getting more and more moles into position. And Raigekisai making 27 minerals per minute. That is just sad. That is just a sad state of affairs. But it is what it is, and we are going to be keeping things on right now. As Raigekisai still not going for the forfeit, he tries to go for the Oracle onto that natural. Mr. Turret though in position. SUPERMALLS are ready for any kind of sail in the first place. But apparently that worker in behind gonna get stuck without a contract. Really just not in position to be a good member of society into this one. Medivac also gonna get built on up, and it is gonna be turning into a buyer focus here from SUPERMALLS, as he did go for racks instead of extra starports. Here comes the main force of SUPERMALLS, and it seems like the worker revolution is here. The guns are blazing though, and it is gonna be GG called. SUPERMALLS will take that first map in our round number 2 of the gold to diamond brackets. Very well deserved, having the proper timing, and again, invincibility is called by invisibility. So there you go, guys. That was map number 1 out of 3, and SUPERMALLS taking that one, well deserved. Good timing there with the Banshee Cloak, really finding the opportunity to get the takedowns, the detection, unfortunately, for his opponent just not in position, and when it did come, it really was just at Artosis Pylon. He couldn't go for another cycle of Stalkers. He went for the attack with a Warp Prism instead, and it looked a little dicey on both sides, but in the end, that was a victory there, easily taken by SUPERMALLS with a huge advantage. Anyway, though, that is our map number 1 done and dusted. Eternal Empire next on the list. And right now, guys, a number of round 2 matches going on. Pretty interesting, as this is the biggest parts of our bracket so far. Anyway, though, in this instance, we'll be seeing who's gonna be moving on. And apparently, guys, whoever wins this will face off against the winner of Exoskeletor and our previous showcase, Dead Trooper. So it really goes to show these brackets are very, very interconnected. And in this instance, we're just waiting on right now if Eternal Empire will be given the same fate. Terran versus Protoss, though, yet again, can Raigekisai come on back? He only needed to find out where those Banshees were, and he was able to do so, but unfortunately, forgot about the pylon. You forgot about, you can't forget about your power supplies. If you're gonna be expanding, you're gonna be making big locations, your power supply always has to be good to go. And we'll see how this one is gonna be going into this matchup, as we're just making sure that everything is a-okay into the lobbies. And it's just 2 players and the obs right here, right now. And we are going to be getting started into Eternal Empire. The S shape here and now might really go in favor of SUPERMALLS, just looking at how the map looks like in the first place. But on Eternal Empire, it might be a little safer here for Raigekisai to get those expansions to get on through. But he has to be wary, because the Terran can really exploit the crannies and nooks of Eternal Empire. And Raigekisai really wants to do that himself. He wants to be able to get some warp or some drops on, but it feels like right here, right now, SUPERMALLS has his eye on the sky and has control of it as well. Anyway, though, this is going to be game number 2 out of 3. And let's get into the matchup. Let's get into the battlefield. Let's get into Eternal Empire. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are on Eternal Empire. This is going to be game number 2 out of 3, and if SUPERMALLS takes this one, then he is going to be moving on to that round number 3 matchup. It'll take round 4 though before he can reach his marker of the quarterfinals from the previous tournament, and hopefully he can actually continue on all the way at the tail end. But hey, right here, right now, introducing on the bottom left Eternal Empire, it's the Red Terran of SUPERMALLS. On the top right, his opponent, down the map already, but looking to get some retribution, looking to figure things out, and looking to make sure that his power supply needs are met. On the top right of Eternal Empire, it is gonna be the Purple Protoss of Raigekisai. SUPERMALLS confident about that first map win, and he is gonna be going for the proxy barracks right here, right now. This can potentially go for a few Mass Reapers to really get the potency and the hustle on. We'll see though how this one is gonna pan out in this instance, as more or less damage being done overall, and it really is just gonna be all about how he is going to use that Rax. Probably a Reaper, as we said, very, very good to actually get the jump on in here onto Eternal Empire. A lot of ramps to utilize, a lot of spaces to go on. And for SUPERMALLS, he's going to be looking pretty mighty, pretty potent into many different situations. But hey, K2 is now being built on. Cybercore going to be there. Forge going to be set up as well. And Raigekisai playing a little bit defensive. He's going for the Tech Tree. He's going to go for the 2 Gateway 1 Core, but also a Forge for a few early upgrades, or cannons perhaps, to try and defend. Really is just a matter of what? It's a matter of paranoia sometimes to really get that early detection on in the first place. But in this instance, here for the side of SUPERMALLS, he has set up his standard wall, going to be going for some more Reapers here again. And yes, it is going to be multiples and multiples of these Reapers. Here on Eternal Empire, it is a pretty pesky tactic due to the fact that this whole ramp is very, very long to try and wall off. It's going to be easy time here and now for the Reapers to run on away because it's only a Zealot in position. But as soon as that Stalker comes already, SUPERMALLS might feel like he's overinvested on the wrong market, as SUPERMALLS is going to be backing on now, trying to get on away. And interesting enough, Raigekisai is setting up a shield battery in behind instead of a cannon in this instance. Anyway though, here for Raigekisai, he is able to stave off the first initial engagement. And right now, SUPERMALLS is taking a lot of damage from that Zealot out in front. Seems like the Stalker in position to make sure that nothing else is going to be going on, as more and more Reapers now coming our way. But in this instance, Factory now being built as well, Orbital Command trying to get as many workers as possible. And it seems like for Raigekisai, he is in position to try and get something else done. SUPERMALLS doesn't know that a pylon is there in the first place. But hey, into the backline we go. SUPERMALLS trying to get the shots on Raigekisai, really giving chase. The Stalker trying to get the Photon Disruptor, but it isn't gonna happen. Here for SUPERMALLS, it's really just about pressure right now. He's had 6 Reapers, and he's keeping on building some more. 7th Reaper now on the way. Starport apparently gonna be next on the list as well. In a situation like this for SUPERMALLS, he can just keep on with the expansion. He's forcing Raigekisai to stay on one base, and this is a pretty big deal here for SUPERMALLS right now. If he decides to play on and he decides to keep on expanding in behind all of this, he'll be in a pretty prime spot to take a very commanding lead. For now, Raigekisai and SUPERMALLS a little bit even on the economy count. Overall, the workers pretty much the same, but the orbital command, of course, as soon as wheels go down, that is just going to be advantage here for SUPERMALLS to begin with. Reaper still waiting at the wings, and here comes more and more of Raigekisai's tech. It's looking pretty scary actually, because the Protoss sure is stuck on one base, but is really climbing up the charts to begin with. So taking damage that needs to be done. SUPERMALLS getting concentration fire, and since Raigekisai decided to go heavy on the investments, and he's not ready with Warp Gate whatsoever, this is looking really bad here for Raigekisai actually. It seems like it's all about the future here and now, but SUPERMALLS is like, you gotta check out the present, and all of these workers going down. Beautiful start step here and now for SUPERMALLS. He's just getting the A move on, and onto the middle line we go again. Stalker's taking a break onto the left hand side. Seems like they're turning a blind eye to this mega corporation, but the damage has been done, and SUPERMALLS can go at it again with the concentration fire. Raigekisai though beating him back, and he is pretty broken. He is pretty broke as well. We'll see if that's gonna be enough to really just tear apart the spine, the core here for Raigekisai. SUPERMALLS looking really good right now. He is in a pretty commanding lead, 24 workers to 9, but he doesn't have that second base as of yet, and as I say, that seems like it is going to be the case. Orbital command going to be into play. Reaper is trying to get on away. More and more Stalkers right here, right now. Raigekisai will be forced to use a lot of time to rebuild, and this will give SUPERMALLS such a big opportunity right now to get on through with bigger and better tech. Marines with Stim Pack will be a good tool to keep that bio focus on. Raigekisai in the meantime, really late on that Warp Gate, and he is still staying on to more and more of these Stalkers. Reminds me of someone from back in the day, but he's not gonna bother with Blink Stalker apparently. He doesn't care about that one. Onto the top right though we go. Reapers again getting the hits, getting the connections, getting damage one more time. And this is really just how SM does it, doesn't it? This is how SUPERMALLS is able to just stem the flow, the economy of the opposing end. It really goes to show that names have powers, words have powers, and SUPERMALLS right now showing that he is ever powerful in the PH scene. SUPERMALLS though, he did lose out a number of Reapers, acceptable losses in an instance like this, cause it's time to expand, it's time to get better and better into the tech, and the Reapers have done their job and more. It really is overtime pay that SUPERMALLS didn't want to really bother with in the first place, but hey, if it worked out, if it really got the damage in the first place, then he should be happy about that one. Anyway though, Raigekisai still floating around with the Observer, and then we realized from these Gold and Diamond games, when both sides decide to turtle, it does take a little while longer, as they're not really too aware of those timings, they're not really too aware of the conditions of the opposition. And if SUPERMALLS just realize right now that Raigekisai is in such a bad spot, with the army that he's bringing to the table, well, that is a pretty big deal. But SUPERMALLS is going to be defending instead, takes care of the Warp Percept, and goodbye to any kind of cycles in the first place. Solid defense right here, right now, from the Red Terran, and it is gonna be Raigekisai calling out the woo. What's going on to Raigeki? Hope he's a-okay, as the Stalkers are just waiting right now. Seems like the Observer looking to get in position onto the western side. More and more of these Reapers just really being pests. And with the Reapers roaming around the map right now, it really is going to be a tough time for Raigekisai to get in position to try and get a natural. He's still not fully saturated on his base, and he's getting such a low income state right now. Even the IRS not going to be taxing him anything by this point. But hey, Combat Shield now. Next on the list, missile turrets here from SUPERMALLS. He's playing a little paranoid, but it is really part of his system. And another Observer right here, right now. Raigekisai not really adding up to his army to begin with. The Observer, a good tool for surveillance, sure. But it doesn't do damage. It doesn't do anything. It just floats there and watches in the first place. And here for SUPERMALLS right now, he's just waiting to time things out. He has +1 right now on his infantry. He is just waiting for combat shield before he moves on in. And into a drop play we go. Didn't get everything though. The Marauder's gonna get left behind. But at the same time, SUPERMALLS floating on around yet again. Stalker's now gonna be in position. Raigekisai onto the south hand side. But SUPERMALLS has another plan. He is gonna be sending out that Reaper onto the main front of Raigekisai. Get a little more time here for the medivacs to get in position. Flying on around, gonna go for the boosters already. Acceleration at its best. And now it's time to get the drop on in onto that middle line. Another harassment tool, another way to really oppress. And SUPERMALLS is really bringing out the firing squad to begin with. Now trying to go for the stun step action. He can't go for the step back at any point in time. Medivacs though are the focus target, and one of them gonna go down already. Feels like a mistake there from SUPERMALLS. Fighting beside the shield battery, but hey, the DPS is there. Stalker's going down. The Marines right now on a one-way trip, but they don't really care anymore because they are just looking to get the KO by this point. More Stalkers warp on in, trying to get in position. Unfortunately for Raigekisai, he doesn't really have any upgrades with that Pilot Cancel to begin with. And even though these Marines are going to go down, this is very cost effective here for SUPERMALLS. He is ahead on that work count. He is ahead on that army count. He is ahead in all departments, that's for sure. And this is what SUPERMALLS is all about, marketing with style. And here, even the SCPH Quarantine Community Tournaments, it is just basically SUPERMALLS' show. When was the last time you guys went to an SM? When was the last time you guys went to a mall? I think the last time I went to a mall was like almost 2 months ago. It's been that long. It's so interesting actually that just how everything is working out. And I guess for SUPERMALLS, since he's not really busy fixing things up for his company, well, he can join something like this, a quarantine number 2. The language is PH. You know, we got Filipino, we got English as well. English is our standard language, that's for sure. But okay, so Raigekisai is on one base, and he is pretty audacious with this, not gonna lie. Fleet Beacon from Raigekisai. What is he gonna build with this? Tempest or Carrier? It doesn't matter, he doesn't have the money for it. And SUPERMALLS is knocking on his door. The Carrier is coming our way. I would love to see this actually come online. I would love to see this actually show up. But I don't think it's gonna. Cause this is SUPERMALLS right now, looking for a hostile takeover. Really running up that ramp, getting the blow up onto those Stalkers, taking care of the pylon. And into the base we go. Raigekisai had a good run, he had a good show, and he really tried, but by this point, SUPERMALLS is really understanding where to cut deep and where to get the cuts on. Economy, apparently, is the name of the game for the past 2 matches. And in this instance, it's SUPERMALLS blowing everything up. GG gonna be called. Congratulations to SUPERMALLS. He will move on to take this game and take this whole match. Moving into round number 3, gonna be one of our first to be all the way in that top part of the bracket. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and that is another match done and dusted in our gold to diamond bracket. If you guys are looking though for the Masters Plus players, they are a little busy right now, and they are gonna be here tomorrow instead. But as we go on and more, these matches are gonna be picking up, especially in terms of game quality, so you don't want to be missing out on that one. But here you go, guys, a quick little recap of these results. It's SUPERMALLS taking not 1 but 2 out of these 3, and that is enough for him to take that victory. Good tries there though from his opponents, from Raigekisai. Especially on that first match, I really feel like those Warp Prism drops from him, just a little more work and a little micro on the defensive end, can really bring him back in so many different ways. But hey, this was our round number 2 match, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be looking again into the bracket to make sure that everything is a-okay, as well as getting a few more finalists here and now, a few more round 3 players specifically. And don't go away though, we will come on back to you guys very soon. Congratulations to those SUPERMALLS taking that round number 2 match, waiting on against the victor of Exoskeletor and Dead Trooper. This is quarantine number 2, and again, before we go on into a break, quick little shout outs here to our sponsors, the major sponsor AKG Games. Check out the socials at Facebook and Instagram with akggames.ph, big distributor in the region for Blizzard games. You got your World of Warcraft, you got your Hearthstone, you got your Overwatch, you got StarCraft too right now, and that is gonna be all thanks to AKG Games really matching and helping out on the prize pool, just putting that X2, slapping it on with some flex tape, and making us look and feel even better with the support. Community sponsors in the meantime, we got DLS Mizzle. He's been all the way so hard working, fixing things up on the admin end as well as these overlays. It kept me in as well for the hosting and the like. And we have SUPERMALLS, Bayagster, and Paul on the community side pitching into the prize pool as well to help things out and really grow the scene. But anyway guys, this has been round number 2 of the SCPH Quarantine Tournament. We will be right back for an announcement on round 3 and to see what match we're gonna do. Stick around, we'll be right back. Stick around for some more StarCraft action going your way. And is that the rain I hear, as it is gonna be raining on with some more action into our near future.